Deadpool and Wolverine, the year's biggest film, according to most people who are anticipating films this year, has finally been released. I've checked it out, and I'm here to give my thoughts on it. So let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, like I said, we are discussing Deadpool and Wolverine, joined by the Deadpool Funko Pops, as well as a brand new popcorn tin that I got from my theater. And yeah, this is the biggest film of the year. This is probably going to do the biggest numbers of the year. Probably break a bunch of records. Who knows? Deadpool, of course, smash hits at the box office, and this is going to be no exception. Now, background knowledge for me, I've loved Deadpool for a long time. I remember since around lockdown for COVID, I checked them out for the first time, and I've just watched them on loop since then. And so going into this, I had high expectations because I wanted it to match those first two movies. Um, it was Disney. Had my skepticism. Sean Levy, not a great director, but wanted to go in with an open mind. And yeah, this I could see this definitely being one of the biggest films of the year. A fantastic success, both critically and financially. And yeah, it also full like background info. So I started working at a theater about a week ago now, and so I was warned, coming in right before Deadpool week, and this is gonna get crazy. And I was like, gotcha. And so part of the employee, you know, bonus is that you can see free movies, however many you want, besides ones that are labeled you can't see them. And guess what was listed under the one of the ones that you can't see with your movie passes or whatever? Deadpool and Wolverine. So guess who had to pay $11 to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, even though he has a job at the theater? Me, I did. But anyway, yeah. Besides that, let's get into the review. So right off the bat, you gotta talk about the obvious, Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, fantastic on screen together. This film would not have worked as well if the chemistry was not there. And obviously, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool have great chemistry. Behind the scenes, even, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are great friends, as we can kind of tell from, like the behind the scenes footage we've seen and videos that they've taken together. And so going into this, kind of expected that camaraderie together. Two of the biggest heroes of all time in Marvel cinematic history. Two of the biggest successful, you know, characters brought to the screen. And yeah, that did not disappoint. The Deadpool side did not disappoint. The laughs are around every corner. Fourth wall breaks every minute. It seemed like it was like a mile a minute. And Wolverine, fantastic as always. Hugh Jackman, he's awesome in pretty much everything he touches, and this is no different. The character of Wolverine, he taps right back into it, and it was a treat to be able to see him in that gorgeous yellow suit. Um, there's a bit in the movie where he throws on the cowl, and it looks freaking amazing. I absolutely love that. Um, and of course, it's Deadpool. It's multiverse hopping. The TVA is a big part in this film, so if you haven't seen Loki, I highly recommend you watch it, because then you get to know some of the stuff that's going on before it takes place in the movie. The TVA is set up in the trailers. They're a big presence there. They're a big presence in the entirety of the movie, really, since forced the plot. And yeah, they used them pretty well, I will say. We'll get into some more around the negatives, because I do have a few problems with it, but anyways, continuing with the positives, of course, great action. This film from the trailers even, you could tell, had some really well shot action sequences. Now, personally, I don't like Sean Levy as a director. I like his films. I just don't think he has his own style. And this film does not really show that any more than his other films, because the last three films, including this one, have all been pretty much the same thing. A Ryan Reynolds action comedy vehicle. And again, like I said, Deadpool and Wolverine, kind of the same thing, but it's a fun film. The action is great. There's a lot of hand-to-hand action, and I will say, the Adam Project from 2022 had some hand-to-hand combat, and there's actually some pretty cool hand-to-hand combat in that movie, and in this movie as well. Deadpool and Wolverine has some really great hand-to-hand sequences, and that was awesome to see. And of course, the fight sequences are awesome. It just seems like it's these scenes that feel like you're a little kid playing with your action figures, with your Lego characters, and it's just felt so fun and felt just like I was a kid again. Just Wolverine fighting Deadpool and Deadpool fighting whatever other characters there are in the movie. I'm not going to spoil what, but yeah, it's awesome. And also, cameo galore in this movie. I am not a big cameo guy. I do like Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not big on that because I think the cameos actually save that movie, but you know, the cameos don't save Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not what saves this movie. It's the constant banter between Deadpool and Wolverine that helps this movie. But there are cameos along the way. I will confirm that. I'm not going to say who, but there's a lot of cameos. And be prepared for some really, really cool ones. There was a few that got me out of my seat clapping. I was so hyped watching half of these cameos pop up, and it was just a lot of fun. The more movies you watch from like X-Men and Marvel in general, it helps your knowledge for who these characters are. Behind the scenes info even helps because there was a character that was never even put to screen that is in this as a cameo, and it was so cool. I had to explain to one of my friends who it was because he didn't understand the behind the scenes. But yeah, it was awesome seeing these cameos on screen. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the cameos are indeed awesome. And real quick, just because people are probably going to be wondering, yes, there are post-credit scenes, and there's also a pretty tear-jerking little homage to Fox Marvel in the end credits. There's like up in the corner, there's like this little like square image of just like behind the scenes and clips from old Fox Marvel movies that plays, and it's tear-jerking because this is the final Fox Marvel movie. This is the send off to X-Men, to the original Fantastic Four. Not the original Fantastic Four, but like Chris Hemsworth, Human Torch era of Fantastic Four. Um, the Punisher movies, the Daredevil movies. Like those movies right there, that's the send off to those movies. And it was so good. Um, Honestly made me teary eyed. And yes, there's also a post credit scene. Stick around for it. It's a great laugh. So, yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, there are a few negatives that I had with the movie. And the main one is that the villain, Mr. Paradox, or whatever his name is extremely weak. He's just kind of a standing behind the stage, twirling your mustache kind of villain the entire movie, and he just didn't work. I will say though, Cassandra Nova, like the villain in like the main confrontation villain, she was cool. I really liked her. Um, but Paradox, not great. And then, like I said, Sean Levy, doesn't have a style. It just, he lacks a style in his filmmaking, and unfortunately, it doesn't add to like what the first two had with Tim Miller directing the first one, David Leitch directing the second one, Sean Levy directing this one. Just feels like a corporate product rather than having a sense of style to it, because like at least the other two felt like they had some sort of directorial style to them. This one didn't. So, and it's fine to not have a style. It's just you feel more corporate without it. And that's just kind of an issue to me. Might not bug other people, but personally speaking, I am not a Sean Levy guy. I like some of his films. I can have fun with, like Free Guy, Adam Project, and now Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously, but he's not my favorite director per se, so gotta give it a little nick for that. But overall, guys, did I like the biggest film of the year? Yes, I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would go as far to say as I loved it. Maybe not my favorite compared to the first two films. I have nostalgia for the first two films. I used to watch those all the time and still do. They're on loop in my household. And this one is just another one to throw into that loop, the constant, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Deadpool Wolverine loop now going around in my house, and I'm proud to say third great Deadpool movie. Not perfect by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a damn good time. Go see it. It's an awesome time. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. So thank you guys for watching this review. Please stay tuned for more reviews in the future. Gonna try and put out a ranking of the MCU movies now that Deadpool and Wolverine is out. And if you want me to do a spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine, let me know down in the comments. You know, I wouldn't mind talking spoilers with you guys. So, yeah, until next time, peace out, everybody.